students are going to be taught and told about racism in America, what it means to be white and black and BLM. I'm not with any of that as a black man. So be sure to subscribe.
They should just tell the history. That's it. Just talk about
race theory and why, like, you know, I'm not fond of
the history, the civil rights.
I switch from due dates to due dates.
That's pretty much
and
it.
It made me go from weeks behind to weeks.
They try to incorporate like
with my deadlines. You see,
like extra stuff. Like I feel like that's just, I don't know. In my history class, we watch Harriet Tubman. It was a cool movie. It was entertaining. It was cool. It was a cool little movie, Harriet Tubman movie. Didn't hate it, didn't like it. It was just you know.
Exactly is the Department of Education.
Cool
and
movie.
importantly,
history movie.
what is it not?
History movies are kind of ants.
The Department of Education is not the agency
unless it's like a war movie. You know, war movie like
what schools teach kids.
I like war movies, but no, some war movies can be too. I like some war movies can be Some war movies can be you know.
Which I will say.
Then again, like I don't like Harriet Tubman, but I do like Django. Django's fire. I like Django. Django's fire.
We need to cut
it's kind of weird.
Education because our schools are already failing.
I like Django Unchained, but I don't like Harriet Tubman.
You should be towards in targeting
because she's a female. The movie was good. The Harriet Tubman movie was good. It's just like it just wasn't as like.
So I will say that.
I just think
but on the flip side, also is like okay, if the goal of the Department of Education is to step in and fill those gaps aren't being filled. So it's also like just scrap the whole system, and not necessarily scrap the whole system, but like something needs to be rebuilt. Something needs to be done because if the Department of Education goes to fill the gaps aren't being filled. They're doing a bad job.
Education is a relatively small federal agency, and more than 70% of its budget goes toward federal student aid, so grants or loans that help folks pay for college. In terms of K-12 education, there are funding streams to support low-income kids, disabled children. There's funding streams for research into best practices in education. The federal government only controls about 10% of the funding for local K-12 schools. Congress controls that 10%. So absent a ruling from the Supreme Court that would give the president powers that he doesn't currently have, these threats are not that meaningful to local schools. It is clear, however, that the Trump administration will drastically try to reduce the size of the federal Department of Education. Attempts to decrease the amount of money the Department of Education receives are going to disproportionately impact those students who the department's programs serve: low-income children, children with disabilities, and college students who cannot afford the full price of their tuition.
Okay, are you not going to mention how it's going to be pushed over to other departments? This is why you got to get the news for yourself. That is sad. I'm sitting here waiting on like her to mention, okay, but they're getting moved. Things are getting switched around. That wasn't brought up. Literally, there's so many other departments that have their hands in this pie. If you look in the executive order,